I need to get this off my chest because I literally have no one else to talk to about this. This happened a few months ago and I am still trying to process everything. Sorry for the wall of text, but this story is complicated. So some background. I am 24, been playing soccer, football for you non-Americans, semi-professionally for the past 3 years. Nothing glamorous. Lower tier leagues, barely making enough to cover rent. But I had this dream, you know. MLS was the goal. Had to be. My contract was up for renewal this season and everyone knew it was make or break time. One more mediocre season and I'd probably be done for good. My girlfriend Sarah, 26F, and I had been together for 2 years. She's a nurse at the local hospital. One of those people who's just genuinely good, you know. Quiet, never asked for much, always there when I needed her. While I was obsessing over training schedules and scout reports, she was pulling 12-hour shifts and still finding time to meal prep for both of us. She knew how much soccer meant to me, knew about the pressure I was under. The thing about Sarah is she never really talked about herself much. I was so wrapped up in my own stuff that I probably didn't notice how much she kept to herself. She listened to me vent about coaches, about missed opportunities, about how I was running out of time. She just nod and rub my shoulders and tell me it would work out. Last March, she said she needed to go visit her sister upstate for the weekend. Said her sister was going through some relationship drama and needed support. I was annoyed because I had this important match coming up and wanted her there, but I tried to be understanding. She's always putting other people first, so it made sense. But when she came back Sunday night, something was off. She was quiet, quieter than usual, which is saying something. I asked how her sister was doing and she just said, better, and went straight to the shower. That whole week she seemed distant. I figured maybe her sister's problems were worse than she let on. Then it got weirder. She started working extra shifts, staying late at the hospital. When I tried to plan date nights, she say she was too tired. We went from having sex 3 to 4 times a week to maybe once, and even then she seemed like she was somewhere else mentally. I started wondering if she was getting tired of supporting my pipe dream, as my dad liked to call it. The worst part was she stopped asking about soccer. For 2 years, she want to know everything. How practice went, what the coach said, if there were any scouts at games. Suddenly, nothing. When I bring it up, she just nod and change the subject. I thought maybe she was finally getting fed up with dating someone whose biggest accomplishment was scoring twice in a game that 12 people watched. I wouldn't blame her. Most of her nursing friends were dating guys with actual careers, guys who could take them out to nice restaurants without checking their bank account first. So I did what any insecure almost 25-year-old would do. I started looking through her stuff. Okay, you guys asked for it. Buckle up because this is where everything goes to shit. So I started snooping. Yeah, I know. Violation of privacy, red flag behavior, all that. I am not proud of it, but I was going crazy. 3 weeks of cold shoulders and one-word answers, and I needed to know what was happening. First I checked our phone bill online. There were calls to a number I didn't recognize. Like 8 to 10 calls over 2 weeks, some lasting 20 to 30 minutes. I reverse searched it but got nothing definitive, just some generic, potential spam, result. Then I went through her laptop while she was at work. She usually left it open. Never had passwords on anything because she trusted me. God, writing that makes me feel like such an asshole now. Her email was the first bomb. There were messages from someone named Marcus Rivera going back about a month. The early ones seemed professional. Something about discussing the opportunity we talked about and meeting to go over details. But then they got different. Looking forward to our weekend together, beautiful. Can stop thinking about Friday night. You, incredible. He's a lucky guy, even if he doesn't know what you did for him. That last one fucking killed me. I screenshotted everything with shaking hands. There were hotel confirmations. The Marriott downtown. Same weekend she was supposedly with her sister. Charged to his credit card. Room for two. But wait, it gets worse. I found photos on her phone. I.D. grabbed it while she was in the shower. Hands literally trembling as I scrolled through her camera roll. Most were normal. Us at dinner, her at work, random stuff. But then I found them. Photos from that weekend. Her in lingerie I.D. never seen before. A selfie of her and some guy the first didn't recognize. Tall, expensive suit, salt and pepper hair. Looked like he was in his 40s. His arm around her waist. Both of them smiling like they just. I threw up. Right there in our bedroom. I actually fucking threw up. The guy was clearly older, clearly had money. Everything I wasn't. While I was stressing about making rent and whether my cleats would last another season, she was in hotel rooms with some sugar daddy who could probably buy my entire team. I felt like such an idiot. All those times she said she believed in me, that she knew I'd make it. Was she just humoring me while planning her exit strategy? Was I just the safe backup plan until someone better came along? I couldn't eat for 3 days. Couldn't sleep. Kept replaying every interaction we had, looking for signs I missed. The way she gotten that new expensive moisturizer she claimed was a work gift. How she suddenly started suggesting I keep my options open career-wise. The way she stopped talking when I walked into rooms sometimes. I played like absolute shit in practice that week. Coach pulled me aside and asked what was wrong. I almost told him everything, but what was I supposed to say? My girlfriend's cheating on me with someone who can actually afford to take her places. The worst part was she kept acting normal when she was around me. Making dinner, asking how my day was, curling up next to me at night like nothing had changed. Meanwhile I am lying there knowing she'd been with someone else just days before, probably comparing us, probably realizing what a joke I was. I confronted her on a Thursday night. She'd just gotten home from work, still in her scrubs, looking tired as hell. I'd been sitting on the couch for 2 hours working up the courage, screenshots pulled up on my phone. We need to talk, I said. She must have heard something in my voice because she immediately went pale. Okay, she said quietly, sitting down across from me instead of next to me like she usually would. I just held up my phone with the photo of her and Marcus. Want to explain this? The look on her face. They never seen someone's soul just leave their body like that. She stared at the screen for maybe 10 seconds, then put her face in her hands and started crying. Not like pretty movie crying. Ugly, broken, gut-wrenching sobs. I can explain, she kept saying through the tears. Please, just let me explain. Explain what? How they been fucking some rich guy while I am here thinking we rebuilding a future together. How you lied about your sister. How they been playing me for months. I was yelling by then. All that rage and hurt and humiliation just poured out. I showed her the emails, the hotel receipts, everything. She just kept crying and saying, I am sorry, over and over. Is that why they been so distant? Feeling guilty? Or just trying to figure out how to dump the loser boyfriend for your sugar daddy? It's not what you think, she finally managed to get out. Really? Because it looks pretty fucking clear to me. You went to a hotel with another man. You took photos together. He's sending you messages about how incredible you are. What part am I misunderstanding, Sarah? She was quiet for a long time, just crying and staring at her hands. Then she looked up at me with these red, swollen eyes and said, he's a sports agent. I laughed. Actually laughed. Oh, so that makes it better? You cheating on me with a sports agent? What? Researching my competition? No, you don't understand. He has connections. Real connections. MLS scouts. Talent evaluators. People who could actually get you seen. The room went dead quiet except for her sniffling. What the fuck are you talking about? I met him at the hospital. He was visiting a client who'd been injured. We got to talking and I mentioned you. Mentioned how talented you were but how you weren't getting the right opportunities. He said he could help, but she trailed off and I felt this cold dread creeping up my spine. But what, Sarah? She looked me straight in the eye and said the words that have been haunting me for months. But he doesn't work for free. I need a drink just thinking about writing this part. Actually, I need several drinks. But I promised I'd finish this story, so here we go. After Sarah said, he doesn't work for free, I just stared at her. My brain couldn't process what she was implying. What do you mean he doesn't work for free? I asked. She wiped her eyes and took this shaky breath. He said he could get you a tryout. A real one, with actual MLS scouts. But he wanted me to spend a weekend with him first. The room started spinning. You telling me you prostituted yourself to get me a soccer tryout? Don't call it that, she snapped. Then immediately looked guilty for raising her voice. It wasn't like that. He's not some creep. He was actually nice. He took me to dinner. We talked about you, about your future. He genuinely thinks you have potential. I couldn't believe what I was hearing. Sarah, what the actual fuck? You slept with someone else to help my career? Without telling me? Without asking me? Because you never would have agreed to it. She said, getting more animated. You too proud. You rather fail on your own than succeed with help. But I couldn't watch you give up on your dream because you too stubborn to take opportunities. Opportunities? I was screaming now. You call this an opportunity? You fucking another man is an opportunity for me? She flinched like I slapped her. I did it for you, she whispered. I did it because I love you. You did it because you what? No, Sarah. People who love each other don't do this. They don't make deals with strangers using their bodies as currency. It wasn't like that, she kept saying. It was just one weekend. Just one time. And it worked. He's already reached out to contacts at Atlanta United and LAFC. You have a showcase next month. I sat down hard on the couch. Their SA showcase? Yes, he came through on his promise. 3 different teams sending scouts. He even paid for your travel expenses. My head was in my hands. I felt like I was going to throw up again. So what? I am supposed to be grateful. Thank you for whoring yourself out for my career. Stop saying that, she yelled, and I never heard her yell before. Ever. You don't get to make me feel worse about this than I already do. Do you think this was easy for me? Do you think I wanted to do it? Then why did you? Because I watched you for 2 years giving everything you have to this dream. I seen you eat ramen for weeks to afford new cleats. I watched you work construction jobs that destroy your body just to pay for league fees. I seen you cry after games because you played your heart out and no one was there to see it. She was crying again, but different now. Angry crying. I make decent money as a nurse, but not enough to hire a real agent or get you proper exposure. This was the only way I could actually help you. The only way I could give you what you needed. What I needed was my girlfriend to not sleep with other men. What you needed was a chance. A real chance. And now you have one. We sat there in silence for a long time. I was trying to process everything. The betrayal, the sacrifice, the fact that apparently I had a showcase lined up that could change my life. Finally, I asked the question that was killing me. Did you enjoy it? She looked at me with these devastated eyes. What kind of question is that? Did you enjoy fucking him? Did you come? Did you think about me while you were with him? Or did you forget I existed? I thought about you the entire time, she said quietly. I thought about your face when you found out you made it to MLS. I thought about how proud you'd be. I thought about the life we could have together if this worked. And now I think I lost you anyway. She wasn't wrong. Alright, you've been waiting for this part. What happened with the showcase and how everything fell apart. After that night, Sarah moved out. She went to stay with her actual sister while we figured things out. We barely spoke for 2 weeks. The showcase was scheduled for the following month, and I honestly didn't know if I was going to go. Every time I thought about it, I felt sick. How could I go to a tryout that my girlfriend had literally prostituted herself to arrange? How could I play knowing that my big break came from another man fucking the woman I loved? But then I kept thinking about what she said, about the ramen dinners and the construction jobs and crying after games. She wasn't wrong about any of that. This was the opportunity I'd been dreaming about for years. I called my dad, which I never do, told him the whole story. He was quiet for a long time, then said, "Son, that girl loved you more than you deserved. Question is, what are you gonna do about it?" Not helpful, Dad. The showcase was in Atlanta. 3 teams sent scouts: Atlanta United, LAFC, and surprisingly, Seattle Sounders. I almost didn't get on the plane. Sat in the airport for an hour staring at the departure board. But I went, and here's the thing. I played the best soccer of my entire life. Everything clicked, every pass, every touch, every shot. It was like all the anger and hurt and confusion channeled into something pure on the field. I scored twice in the scrimmage and had 3 assists. After the showcase, the Atlanta United scout came up to me. Said they wanted to offer me a contract. Not a tryout. Not a, we'll call you, an actual contract. Reserve team to start, but with a clear path to the first team. I should have been ecstatic. This was everything I ever wanted. Instead, I felt empty. I called Sarah from the hotel that night. She picked up on the first ring. "How did it go?" she asked. "They offered me a contract." Silence. Then, "Oh my God. Really?" "Yeah, Atlanta United. It's everything I dreamed about. I am so proud of you," she said, and I could hear her crying. "Are you? Because I can't tell if this is my achievement or his." "It's yours. You the one who played. You the one who earned it. With an opportunity you bought with your body." Long pause. "I know you hate me for what I did. But I don't regret it. Seeing you succeed, it was worth it. Even if it cost us everything." Even then, we talked for 2 more hours. About the future, about what this meant, about whether there was any way to fix what was broken between us. By the end of the call, we both knew the answer. I took the contract, moved to Atlanta, started training with the reserves, made my MLS debut 6 months later as a substitute in a match against DC United. Played 8 minutes, had 1 shot on goal. 8 minutes of living my dream. And the entire time, all I could think about was how Sarah should have been there in the stands, cheering for me. Sarah and I officially divorced 8 months after I signed with Atlanta. We tried counseling for a while, a few awkward Zoom sessions where we both pretended there might be a way forward. But every time I looked at her, I saw that weekend. Every time she looked at me, she saw her sacrifice being thrown back in her face. The divorce was amicable, if you can call it that. We didn't fight over money or belongings. What was there to fight about? She'd already given up everything that mattered. The fucked up part is that I am successful now. I am a starting midfielder for Atlanta United. I make more money in a year than we used to make combined. I have a nice apartment, a car that doesn't break down every month, savings in the bank. Everything we struggled for when we were together. And I am miserable. Here's what I figured out too late. Sarah didn't just sacrifice her body for my career. She sacrificed her sense of self, her values, her peace of mind. She carried the weight of that decision alone for weeks before I found out. The distance, the guilt, the way she couldn't look at me. She was drowning, and I was too self-absorbed to notice. The worst part? She was right about me. I am too proud. If she had come to me and said, "There's a way to get you seen by scouts, but you have to be okay with me sleeping with someone else," I would have said no. Absolutely not. I would have chosen failure over that kind of help. But she knew me well enough to know that my pride mattered more to me than her sacrifice. So she made the choice for both of us. I found out last month that she's engaged. Some doctor from her hospital. Looks like a good guy from his social media. Takes her on actual vacations. Buys her flowers. Probably never made her choose between groceries and his dreams. I want to be happy for her. I really do. But mostly I just feel like I lost the only person who ever loved me enough to destroy herself for my happiness. A few weeks ago, I ran into Marcus Rivera at a charity event. He recognized me, came over to congratulate me on my season. Seemed genuinely proud, like he had a hand in my success. Which, I guess, he did. Your girl really loves you, he said. I hope you know that. What she did, that took real love. I wanted to punch him. Instead, I just nodded and walked away. But he wasn't wrong. They had other relationships since the divorce. Dated a few women, nothing serious. They all want to know why my last relationship ended, and I never know what to say. My ex-girlfriend loved me so much she cheated on me to help my career. Sounds insane when you say it out loud. The truth is, I don't think I'll ever find someone who loves me the way Sarah did. Completely, sacrificially, destructively. She saw my dreams as more important than her own dignity, and I punished her for it. Maybe that makes me the asshole in this story. Maybe I should have forgiven her. Should have understood that love sometimes looks like choices we can comprehend. Maybe I should have seen past my own hurt to recognize what she gave up for me. Or maybe we were both just broken people who loved each other in ways that were destined to destroy us. I still think about calling her sometimes, especially after games, when I score or make a play that the crowd loves. For 2 years, she was the first person I wanted to share those moments with. Now she's the person I can never share them with again. The contract that changed my life expires next year. I'll probably get renewed. I am having a good season. But sometimes I wonder what would have happened if I just stayed in the lower leagues, stayed broke, stayed with Sarah. Would we have been happy in our shitty apartment, eating ramen and watching Netflix? Would love have been enough? I guess I'll never know. Thanks for reading this mess, Reddit. Writing it out helped more than I expected. Don't really know what I was looking for. Advice, forgiveness, understanding. But you guys listened, and that means something. To anyone out there loving someone who's chasing a dream, be careful. Dreams have a way of costing more than you think you can afford. And sometimes the price gets paid by people who never agreed to pay it. Thank you all for watching this story. Please subscribe to the channel. I have 2 crazy stories every day. Thank you.